back into the AfterSchrock. I apologize that it took me a little bit of time to get that up and running there. But we're with you here, so I'll give everybody a couple seconds to get connected, and then once everyone is with us, we can get started. So I'll throw this out like I do every week. This one is going to be a short one this week, guys. It's Mother's Day, so I got some errands to run, if you know what I mean. First off, what does everybody want to talk about? What do you guys have questions about? Let me know what your thoughts are on different things, and then we can go from there. As far as what we have to talk about, this week obviously was really a big deal to do the celebration of the reopening of Nebraska's economy. We had a big sale, and we gave away preventative maintenance checkups for free, which is something we've never done, and we were a little nervous about what to expect. It worked out really well, actually. We had a lot of people come in. People were, as a mass, really understanding about the turnaround times being what they were. It never got too bad. I mean, we kept everything, I think, to about 3 days, usually is the worst case scenario. And that is a long time right now to go without your computer, for sure, but it's definitely not as long as some of the turnaround times have been in the past, where we get to 7, 8, 9 days, stuff like that, just ridiculous times. So that was really good. Part of it is because we only did it for 1 day. The interesting thing we did for this is we did launch a bunch of commercials. So we had commercials running on Boomer, which is a radio station in Omaha. We had commercials running on pretty much every radio station in Lincoln as well, advertising the free checkup. Everybody that came, we had 300 plus new customers that came in from that. From a business perspective, acquiring new customers is always the most expensive form of advertising. And so, we said, well, if we're going to do something like this, let's see how many new customers that we can acquire with a free offer to get them in the door. And then down the line, once they have a positive experience with us, the hope is that that positive experience will lend to word of mouth and then return business. That's the idea. So anyway, it was really successful in that regard. We also had a lot of Schrock customers that we haven't seen in a long time that aren't been keeping up with their maintenance checkups come on in. And so that was pretty good. We had a couple customers who were a little ticked off that they bought a maintenance certificate and then it was a freebie for 1 day. We tried to explain, it's like, listen, if you want to come in for the freebie, you can come in for the freebie, and we will, we'll extend your certificate another 6 months. I don't want to lose a customer over a maintenance checkup certificate. But here's the thing. There is no appointment. There is no, you bought the certificate so you wouldn't have to wait in line. And now you're telling me that you want to wait in line. That doesn't make a ton of sense, but okay. We had one guy that said, I want to get the free maintenance special, and then paid us for an expedite. It's $50 to expedite the turnaround of the computer. So he paid $50 for a maintenance checkup that was free. And we told him, like, you sure you want to do it? We're talking 2 days at the worst. He's like, nope, I want it back same day if I can have it back same day. Okay, it's an ASAP fee. He had to have it for work, so we did that. So it was kind of interesting. We had a whole bunch of different scenarios like that come around. Then, of course, the day after, we had all the people emailing us that were upset because they missed out. They didn't hear about it. They didn't know about it. They emailed us. We didn't email them back. We never got an email. We have a system, like, it is possible for a human being to not respond to an email, to like miss it. Goes to spam, whatever the case might be. We also have a system, though, that logs every single email that comes in. So we can go back and we can find your email and figure out who was supposed to respond to it and why they didn't respond to it. It's part of customer service tracking. And so, when you email the Schrock Interactive web development team that you want to make an appointment for the free maintenance checkup, that on the website clearly says no appointments are being made for this. It's a first come, first served deal. And you didn't get a call back, it was because you contacted the wrong department and you asked a question that was on the website. And yeah, it was one of those things. We only had one person that happened to. So I apologize. We ended up giving her a free checkup. Say, fine, here you go. We don't, again, want to lose a customer over a free maintenance checkup, especially someone who's been with us for years. But apparently that week, the next day, Tuesday, was the Husker sit-in, where I guess you have to be online and connected to get Husker tickets. And she had to have her computer back by 11 o'clock. And so we're like, okay, we'll do our best to get it back to you by 11, but we can't promise that. So she didn't bring it in. I was like, well, then wait a minute. I thought you didn't bring it in because you wanted to make it a point. Never mind. It's not worth it. Let's just get you taken care of. So we did. The holiday special thing was crazy, though. The holiday special laptops sold out gosh, the 2 days before we were getting calls. Can I get one? Can I put my name on one? And then we sold out on the website on Monday about halfway through the day. It was crazy. So we sold all 5 of those, but nobody wanted the desktops this time around, so that was kind of interesting. So we didn't sell the desktops, but that's okay. You know, it was just a 1 day special just to see what was what. But everybody right now wants something with a webcam, and they want something with a microphone, and they want something that's portable. So the holiday special laptop checks all those boxes. It's also a 4K screen, super high res, great cameras, great audio, dual microphones, backlit keyboards. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles. So it's understandable that it would sell for quite a bit. If you missed out on that and you were looking for one, I can still order them in. I didn't order more than 5 because I wasn't sure how many we would sell. I didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of them, like 5 desktops. The good news there is though we can use those parts to build other computers like our Venture and stuff, so we'll be fine there. All right. So what questions do you guys have for me? Let's go through the questions here real quick. Good morning, Don. Good to have you with us. Thanks for joining the show. Mitch, good to see you again. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, Mary. Good morning. All right. Oh, no, Mark. There is going to be an AfterSchrock. I had to go to the bathroom, okay? I had to take a quick potty break. You guys get a halftime. I don't. I have to stay in front of the camera. All right. Yes, happy Mother's Day, everybody. I didn't forget during the show. I couldn't say it, though, because the show gets tape delayed. And so next week it plays in Lincoln, so it'll be like, Happy Mother's Day. And there's going to be one dude out there who's like, oh, crap, man. I forgot Mother's Day. Well, hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. That was last week, dear. Thank you. I'm going to ruin somebody's life. That Thor. Don't want that to happen. So yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We need to put endpoint on the cell phone. What's a good time to bring it to the Omaha Service Center? How full is the bench? All right, so the thing, Alice, with smartphones is we put endpoint on the phone for you while you wait because we have to have the phone. And it's a phone, and most people need their phone, so we don't take your phone. But anytime you stop by the service center when it's convenient for you, Sunday it's a shorter day, so I would say try to avoid coming in right when we open or right before close. So sometime in the middle of the day, whether that's any other day of the week or a Sunday, just pop on in with the phone, and you can. And the Omaha Service Center is open today from noon to 5, and then we can get it. Gabe will get it all put on the phone for you, and you'll be good to go. But it's $65 per year per device, so it's actually really affordable. There's no upfront kick for installing it. It comes with a virus-free guarantee, and it will also alert you if you have one of those phone security issues. For example, an app that isn't supposed to be there, or security settings on your phone that are not optimized. That's probably the only complaint that we had. If you do not have some kind of a pattern or password set up to unlock your phone, Endpoint will nag you forever until you set one up. Because realistically, you should have one on your phone. It's like having a computer with no password on it connected to the internet. You really need to have an unlock pattern, a facial recognition pattern, a thumbprint, password, something to unlock the phone. And some people have said, literally, I don't want that. I just want to turn on my phone and have it unlocked. There's all kinds of stuff now. Like if you have a smartwatch, you can set up the trusted unlock service. So when the phone is near the smartwatch, when it's connected on Bluetooth, it'll automatically unlock. You can set that up to automatically unlock in your car when it's connected to your car Bluetooth. You can set it by location, so it automatically unlocks when you're at home, but not when you're away from home. So there's all kinds of things that we can do to customize this for you, but you have to have some kind of password on it, and it will be required at some point to unlock the phone, or a pattern on the screen or something. Alrighty. Mitch wants to wipe his old laptop so he can give it to someone. How much for you to do it? Well, we would charge you an hour of labor to do it, Mitch, but it would be an absolute clean wipe. So we would zero the hard drive, so there's no data recovery options, potential recovery. You couldn't scan it with anything. We couldn't even get it back. And then we would install a clean copy of Windows 10. So we're even going to blast like the recovery partitions and everything. We're going to wipe the hard drive clean. Then when we install the clean Windows 10, we'll install all the drivers for the laptop from the manufacturer's website so that it'll work just like the new laptop, but without all the bloatware that Dell or HP would normally put on the laptop. That's the same way we do all of our Asus computers, guys. We blast all the hard drives that Asus sends us. We remove all their bloatware and their free offers for web storage and all this other garbage and the free McAfee, and we get rid of all that. And then we just do a clean Windows 10 load. That's one of the reasons why our laptops are so much faster than other laptops you get, is because there's just not a lot of bloatware behind the scenes going on as well. Not only are the hard drives faster and the memory is faster than what you get at a box store, but it's just not bloated. It's doing less. It makes it really handy. All right. What is the scoop after Broadcom purchase of Symantec? Will it still be available through Schrock? I read something, probably have better information. All right, my battery is running low on my computer, guys, because I forgot my power cord today. So I've got approximately 17 minutes left, so I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty quick. But the thing with the Broadcom bought Symantec Endpoint's enterprise security. Or Symantec's enterprise security division, that's Endpoint. Broadcom is integrating Endpoint in. We had the option to bail on Endpoint and go to a different product. We did have a different product picked out. We had done all the beta research on the other product. The other product had two different tiers to it. The entry-level tier was about the same as Endpoint, and then there was a higher tier that offered some additional protections that Endpoint doesn't have, but the cost was so much higher. Literally, we were talking about having to raise people's renewal subscriptions by $10. And that was something I just didn't want to do. So we elected to stick with Endpoint, and we had enough licenses in our account that we could continue to function because technically people have not been able, everybody else hasn't been able to issue new Endpoint licenses to anybody since February. But we have been able to do it because we had the licenses purchased in our account. We just had to allocate them to somebody. So we are literally living on borrowed time while Broadcom gets their stuff together. The good news is that Broadcom has their new license management portal set up. They didn't buy that part from Symantec. They just bought the software and the research teams. They didn't buy the actual portal, which is kind of weird. So they got their own portal set up. They're migrating all of you into it right now, and eventually all your software, instead of saying Symantec on the bottom, will say Broadcom. But the product's the same, the research team is the same, the protection is the same, which was great. The price, I don't know if that's going to be the same. So we're going to make some evaluations and determinations based on what's going to happen with the price. If they hike the price up to the point, the other software we're looking at had specific algorithms to prevent ransomware infections, which with Symantec Endpoint, the whole purpose is you prevent the infection from getting in. This added a second layer underneath that if something went terribly wrong and the infection got in, it would see that everything on the computer was being accessed like one file after the other, and it would stop that to stop it from encrypting everything on the hard drive. So it's a nice protection to have. It's definitely like a safety net, right? A safety net under the safety net in case the main safety line breaks. So not necessarily, worth paying $10 more a year for, but if Broadcom hikes the price of Endpoint by $10 a year, at that point we'll say, hey, this is the same protection, but it's got the safety net, and it's the same price, so we may as well go with that. The other nice thing is we can do all kinds of stuff that's interesting with that software. For example, some customers have gotten a little tick that they can't turn off their Endpoint software. So we've re-enabled the ability for customers to be able to disable their antivirus. The problem is it doesn't save people when they do stupid stuff, like turning off their antivirus so they can install a virus, which people do. So this other software, you can disable the antivirus, but you have to request a code. So you type in a request for a code, and then a Schrock representative contacts you and says, why are you turning off your antivirus? So it's a little nanny state-like, but it helps keep people from doing stupid things. Like, well, I'm trying to access this website full of images, and, well, it says I have to disable my antivirus first. Should I do that?